Hi, I'm Dr. Sheetal Ajmani. I am a pediatrician and a SACO fellow. In this video, I want to share a little bit about this fundraiser event that you're attending this week, a little bit more about what's going on in India right now with the current second wave of the COVID-19 crisis, why we're choosing to partner with Unicef, and what role you have in this story. So let's get started. So, as you may or may not be aware, India is currently experiencing a devastating, brutal second wave of the COVID-19 crisis. The virus is literally blowing through the country like a storm. Initially starting in the densely populated urban centers, but now the virus has spread to the rural areas of India as well, with very limited access to medical care. Patients are having to wait days just to get a hospital bed. Family members are being asked to bring their own oxygen cylinders and compressors to the hospital for treatment for their relatives who are hospitalized. There is an extreme shortage of oxygen. Can you even imagine? So what can we do? What can you and I do to help in this truly global humanitarian crisis? Because here's the thing, what we know about a pandemic is that as it spreads, more variants can develop. The World Health Organization and CDC has already identified the strain that is going through India as one to be concerned about and one to be aware of. And so as these variants develop and as the virus continues to spread, it then can spread to other countries, which is already starting to happen. We also know that 17% of the world's population lives in India. So just for reference here, the population in India is 1.3 billion. For reference, the US population is 328 million. In terms of landmass size, India is 1/3 the size of the US. So we knew at the start of this COVID-19 crisis last year that if COVID-19 were to hit India, it would have potential, it could be potentially devastating. What we were trying to avoid in the lockdowns around this time last year, which was avoiding overwhelming our medical system, that is now happening in India. Makeshift cremation sites are being built because the cremation services and funeral services are just not able to keep up to the number of deaths per day. The Indian community here in the US, families of Indian origin are terrified to pick up the phone because we don't know when the next call is going to be of someone else who has been affected or impacted by the virus in India, or yet someone else who has passed away. So this is having a direct impact on our global community, our global brothers and sisters, as well as our families here in the US. So what can we do? What can you and I do to help in this crisis? So that's where this fundraiser event comes in. So I decided to partner with UNICEF because it was really important to me that we partner with an organization that is very reputable and trustworthy and doing honest and good work. Because you see, anytime a crisis hits anywhere in the world, one of the silver linings is that people come together to help. But also what can happen, unfortunately, is that there can be room for corruption. And so unfortunately, there is a lot going on in the black market in India with the sale of oxygen cylinders and oxygen compressors at ridiculously high prices. So it was very important to me that we partner with an organization that is trustworthy, reputable, and doing honest, good work. UNICEF is a nonprofit organization that has been around for over 8 decades and that has so much experience in providing emergency relief all around the world. And so when this devastating second wave of COVID-19 hit India last month, UNICEF has already donated oxygen cylinders, oxygen compressors, much needed face masks, face shields, PPE, COVID-19 testing equipment, and materials. And so how this event works is that 20% of the event sales from the SACO fundraiser event will go directly towards UNICEF's COVID-19 relief efforts in India. And so in addition to supporting our brothers and sisters around the world, our global community, you're also contributing to SEICO's mission of creating opportunity and community globally, our mission of creating university scholarships and full-time jobs for women around the world. So I want to take this moment just to thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this story. Simply by joining and attending this event, you are playing a role in this impact and in this story. I also want to share a small story with you about the SEICO community, because here's the thing. When this COVID-19 second wave hit India last month, it impacted my family directly. I have family and relatives in India, and they were all infected with this COVID-19 virus. And I had lost two beautiful souls from my family last month. And in my own process of grieving and healing, I thought to reach out to my SEICO community for support. I had this idea of doing this fundraiser event, and I reached out to my SEICO sisterhood and asked if anyone else would be interested in doing a similar event and making this a team-wide effort. And I was absolutely overwhelmed by the response of support and compassion. And other women with similar values and goals who said, yes, I want to support this. I want to support this mission. I want to support this impact. I want to do this fundraiser event with you. How can I help? And I just really wanted to share that story with you today as well, because one, it meant so much to me personally, but two, it's just a reflection of what this community is, what we stand for, and how we truly do stand by each other, no matter what is going on in our personal lives. We are there for each other. And so if any of this resonates with you, I really invite you to chat with the SEICO fellow who is hosting this event this week about joining our community. There is a seat at the table for you, and we want you here. And if you're not sure if joining the community is right for you quite yet, that's okay. But you know that you want to continue to be part of this impact, there are two other options for you. One, talk to your SEICO fellow about hosting an event. You know, if there's a cause or a charity that's near and dear to your heart, talk to your SEICO fellow about hosting a fundraiser event where 20% of the event sales goes towards supporting that charity or that cause. The other way to continue to be part of this impact is just to stick around in this party, be active, be engaged in this party, and shop SEICO, because like I mentioned before, 20% of this event sales is going to support Unicef and our efforts, UNICEF's efforts in India for COVID-19 relief, while also contributing to SEICO's mission of university scholarships and full-time jobs for women around the world. So with that, I just want to thank you once again for being here, for being part of this story. We truly are better together.